Sonny and Dana make things official, I think. There's a guest list issue for the upcoming Cash and Eden wedding. Harper and Tane decide to go to Japan anyway. And Avalon comes between Kirby and Remi.
Can't keep burying your head in the sand. We're family. We have to talk.
Try guilt me into talking when you should feel guilty every day for the rest of your life.
You think I don't?
Well, then own up to what you did.
You have no idea what I go through, what I see every time I close my eyes.
You should suffer for taking her away from us.
Lace,
Don't call me that.
Lace! What was that for?
Hey! Break up! Get off my lady! Get over! Stop it! You're both coming down to the station with me.
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
Right, so in the mood for a bit of emotional blackmail?
No. What are you blackmailing me with?
I'm in the mood. In the mood, Tal.
Oh God, I'm trying to think what you got on me. Too much.
Don't worry. I can't back up my WhatsApp on my Chinese phone. You're all good.
Thank God for that. Oh, dear me.
Unless there's a cloud somewhere over Shenzhen with my name on it. How are you? You okay?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you doing?
Not too shabby, thank you. We are basking again here in the UK. And the second the temperatures rose again, I thought, blinking it, we've got to record a podcast in that sauna this week.
Yep.
But we'll muddle through these treacherous summer for our listeners, won't we?
Yes, and I'm not a fan of the summer. I'll be honest. I'm more of a spring girl. But there we go.
Yeah, and I'm just coming out in sympathy with you because I love summer.
I know.
Yeah. And I'm glad we're having such a good one. I must say. How's Tom and away been for you this week?
It was okay. I didn't hate anything that happened this week. I think there's some stuff kicking off that I need to see more of. I felt like I was left on a bit of a cliffhanger. There was some stuff teased this week where I was like, I said to you, I need to see the next episode. And then it wasn't in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm like, it must be next week, but I want to see it this week. And you've already told me it's going to happen. I'm a bit annoyed. So I don't know. Like, it's been good. It's just, I think it's been setting up stuff for next week. I'm hoping next week brings more of the information that I'm waiting for, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. A bit of a transitionary period, new characters, getting to grips with a few things, aren't we? But there was enough pace on this week where it wasn't like the other week where we were a bit like, right, we had a bit of like a lull, didn't we? Not a week before last, and we were a bit like, okay, this was a bit of a humdrum week.
Yeah.
We're picking up pace again, we're moving again, aren't we? And that's what I love about this show. We don't sit still for very long. We kick on to something else. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not loving everything at the minute. The music stuff I really struggle with, and I always have, and I've always been honest about that on here. I struggle to relate with those characters because it's a world I just don't know. So, but there's intrigue. There's enough intrigue there that I'm not turning off. As if I could anyway.
I wouldn't let you.
But yeah. So there's enough here, isn't there? And there's enough of keeping us wanting, I think, for next week. I'm very interested to see where the Langham stuff goes.
Yeah.
And they had some heightened moments this week, which I'm into. For me, that's driving the show at the minute.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's brand new. So
yeah.
So guess what?
What?
We've got a sister podcast. I don't know if you've heard.
We have Coastal News Investigates.
Yes, doing very well, I will say. People are enjoying it, and we've had some great feedback. We mentioned last week. If you are new or you've not come across this yet, we have started a sister podcast, which is going to lift the lid, as we do say every episode, and chit chatting behind the scenes stuff, just out of the ordinary of our weekly pod. Link in the episode description below. We've got 4 or 5 episodes available already, more batches to come, and that's how we'll be releasing those in batches going forward. So keep your ears and eyes peeled to the ground, but make sure you're caught up in the meantime. Everybody is really enjoying them and have been really positive. And the episode link will be here all the time. Make sure you sub to it. Give us a little review as well if you don't mind. That'd be nice. Right, should we talk about this week's Home and Away?
Go on then.
So, Sonny doesn't do relationships, or so he's telling Theo this week. There's a lot of scenes here where Theo is basically bro talking with Sonny, isn't he? And they're getting a lot of these scenes. They're now housemates, aren't they? So we're seeing quite a bit of this, and Theo's egging him on and saying, "Look, I think you are in a relationship. It's if it sings like a canary." So he's making him sort of, I really like this Dana lass. Am I in a relationship? There's a lot of self-questioning going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
And Dana at the same time is getting her ear chewed off by Harper about loving Tane and all the rest of it. And I'm a bit like, oh God, am I rolling? But I'm thinking at least the dust has settled between them two, because they were at each other's throats the week before, and that was quite difficult to watch another week. So I'm glad the dust has settled. Harper seems much more accepting of Sonny, which we all, I think, want, because he's incredibly popular with us at home.
Yeah.
Sonny's all a bit awkward about it, isn't he? He does share it with Dana. Are we in a relationship? And there's this whole, I asked you first, I asked you last. And over a trough of coffee, no less, they land somewhere mutual. And then we've got the little scenes of him out in public, holding hands, walking along the beach, joking about, I loved this. This was the Dana and Sonny episode, actually. The whole Monday episode was pretty much a big Dana and Sonny love fest. When Sonny pretends, Dunny. We better not get that shipping.
Unfortunate shipping.
That's obviously going to stick now if you're part of the fun.
That's staying, that's gold. Yeah.
I'll stick so much it'll need another flush. Holding hands, walking on the beach. That joke he does about his kids and his twins and whatever. It was like multiple, and they're coming, and she's like, she's on his wavelength. And she knows it, and she's like, let's send him to an orphanage. And I just caught myself tittering away. When you catch yourself smiling, and it's just me in a room and a telly on. I just loved it.
It's
Love
very
them.
good. Yeah, the chemistry's really good. You can't deny it. So yeah, it's good. It's nice to see that lightheartedness as well. A couple that's not arguing for a change.
Yeah, because it looked a bit like they were going to go that way. She finished it, and then thank God it wasn't conflict. We've got enough of that with Marley and Nabs. Do you know what I mean? Who are not on and off, and
Levi and Mac have been a bit stressy this week as well. So it was nice to see a couple. I suppose Justin and Leah were there as well. They've been quite good together this week, but it's nice to see a new couple just getting to know each other, just enjoying spending each other's company and having a laugh, and just clicking. It's nice.
Yeah, and I genuinely, it's believable that they're into each other and they're attracted to each other, and you can just believe it, can't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it. Loved it. I've already got a wedding hat here. Like, I am like hook, line, and sinker here. I'm buying the book, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Magazine deal, bring it on. Um,
Oh dear.
Now, Eden is asking Abs this week, speaking of lovey-dovey, to be her maid of honour, which I thought was an interesting choice, considering they've been
Yeah.
estranged for years. And Kirby was a big part of her main adult life. Although they're sisters, what did you think? Did you think that perhaps she could have had, Kirby? Or
I
do you
know.
think Abs was the right choice?
I guess I think the elephant in the room is that I think if Flick was still here, it would have been Flick hands down, especially because Eden was
Good
Flick's
point.
maid of honor.
Very good point.
Twice, I think she was maid of honor twice for Flick. So I think it would have been Flick had, or maybe both of them. Maybe one would have been maids of honor, maybe one of them would have been bridesmaid. I don't know, but I think you're right. Again, everybody overlooks Kirby.
Yeah.
And this is another example of where they've overlooked
That's very true.
Kirby.
Yeah.
It's awkward, isn't it? It is a bit awkward. But then you can't really she can't really argue, can she? Because it's her sister, And is she trying to make up for the 10 years when they didn't see each other or whatever it is?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's your sister, right? And they are in each other's lives now, and I get it. But is there that pressure when you have sisters or siblings or whatever? Is there that pressure that they've got to be the maid of honor? This is the thing with weddings. There's always someone to upset, isn't there?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I've never been in that situation, so I don't know. I don't have a sister, and obviously I've never got married, and I have a brother, and I wouldn't have expected to be anything in his wedding, because it's the bride that would,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. And to be honest, I would have died if anybody asked me to be the maid of honor. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's really a thing that would be, like the big sort of church wedding.
Yeah, holding the thing and the flowers
and having to do the readings and all that stuff. I think I'd run a mile because it does sound like she was saying like Cash is traditional. He wants the big traditional wedding. I was thinking it's going to be a church. It's going to be like 2 hours of reading and singing, and Abby's going to have to do a little reading or a prayer. And I thought that sounds horrific.
Yeah. Well, he's a proper traditional Aussie countryman.
Yeah.
He's got his ways and his means, hasn't he? He doesn't want to
think it's just plan the hen party. I don't think it's the fun stuff that a maid of honor gets to do. I mean, that's the good bit, isn't it? If someone asks you to be the maid of honor and you get to plan the hen do, and you get to do all the fun stuff and the stuff on the day that's fun, the getting ready and all that sort of stuff, but not the kind of the starchy speeches and no, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
A bit too serious. A bit too formal.
Speaking of traditions, they get home, don't they? And Abs has got many a present, missed birthday present off Dad.
Yes.
And this, I think Eden was a bit out of order, tipping him in the bin, leaving Abs to fish them out.
I was cross with her for that, actually. I think she's got absolutely no right to do that.
Nope.
Regardless of her feelings on her dad, that's her sister's presence. And again, it's treating Abby, I know she's the youngest sibling, but treating Abby like a small kid.
Yeah.
I thought that was harsh.
I did. And as I was saying to you in the previous couple of weeks here, the only person with this problem is Eden. Eden's looking like, if anything, it's making Eden out to be a bit of a nuisance here, a bit of a brat about the whole thing. Yeah. She's the only one that seems to have not moved on. We've learnt that Mum and Dad have reconciled and they're talking again. Abby's rebuilt some sort of relationship. When we know Levi sided with Dad and lived with Dad, etc., but we've not really seen much of that relationship, have we?
No.
Brief bits, but nothing of great extent. So the fact that Abby's redone it, everybody apart from Eden's now looking like the sour face, and she's not liking that. No. Eden wants safety in numbers. She wants people to be on her side, see it her way, and she's not willing to budge on it. And it's very, very unfair on those around her that she's being like this. And actually, she's an adult now. I mean, there was a line, wasn't there, where she said, he's already ruined a marriage. I don't want him being there at the start of mine, because Abby wants her to invite him to the wedding. And I thought, why does one marriage mean another one's failing? Marriages fail, and you need to be an adult about that. Some survive and some don't.
This
And
is where
that's
I've
fucking
struggled with her.
life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I struggle with Eden, because I do like her, but this grudge holding, this revenge, this everything else, and the kind of the taking away of control from Abby. You know, on the one hand, she's like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to make your own decisions and carve your own path, and blah blah blah. Don't go to mum's because you know you're your own person. But then on the other hand, she's taken her presents off her and binning them. That's
ridiculous. Beyond petty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit juvenile. Yeah.
Turns round and says, my wedding, my guest list. Well, how about my birthday presents?
Exactly. She's a hypocrite, Eden.
Yeah.
She has been since the beginning with the whole, you know, sort of revenge grudge thing against Dad, I think. But it's starting to wear thin now. It's probably year 2 or year 3 that we're coming up to, you know, with this. So
yeah. I was hoping that the cash coupling, looking to the future, would make her sort of. She's done a lot of growing up in other ways.
Yeah,
this just feels really juvenile. You know,
does.
this happened when you were younger, and bloody hell, join the queue. You know what I mean? God, if I was stood like this about my parents' divorce as an adult, Jesus Christ, do you know what I mean?
Everyone would be telling you to go to therapy, wouldn't they? Let's face it. Yeah.
And I was certainly never ever crossed my mind in my marriage that, you know, my parents' marriage didn't make it. Mine isn't, therefore.
No,
you know?
Because your relationship, everyone's relationship is different.
Yeah, and you're your own people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With your own experience. Crazy. It's crazy to me, and she's losing me fast.
Yeah.
So and this bubbles off to work, doesn't it? Even you know, and it's all in public, and it's just getting a bit nasty. Right, Tane is telling Harper to take Dana on his honeymoon this week to Japan. We're already laughing because we've been talking about this. Off air. Harper wants to go with Tane, though. She's got other plans, hasn't she? You know, and Tane spots. You know, just to be clear, and are we on the same page here? This is just friends.
Yeah,
we heard that last week, didn't we? 2 other people saying, "Hi, friend, just friends."
We both knew that they didn't mean it. Yeah.
And Harper agrees to that. Now, actually, no. There's a very interesting choice of turn of phrase from Harper here. She doesn't agree, does she? She says no strings attached. And I thought, Tane understood that to be platonic. I understood that to be hot, saucy honeymoon without the marriage afterwards.
Yep, I did as well.
Did you?
Yeah, no strings attached means we can do the rumpy pumpy and we're not dating, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't mean friends in a twin room.
No. Or even in a joining room, you know?
Yeah.
With a connecting door. Doesn't mean that.
No. This means, you know, wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
What happens on honeymoon stays on honeymoon.
Yeah. I'm glad because I thought that was a very deliberate script choice, actually.
Yeah.
Because we know that Harper does not want a platonic trip. I mean, it is their honeymoon. I mean, imagine getting there. They've got the honeymoon.
All the bloody strings.
Do you know?
Yeah. She wants to attach all of them.
Yeah.
So
she ought to get to the studio with Remi.
What a crock of crap that was.
Yeah. She does. She wants the kit and caboodle. Now, imagine. I mean, we've missed a trick here by not seeing it, but you know, like they get to Tokyo and they've got the honeymoon suite. Top floor, petals on the bed.
Oh, champagne, yes.
Yeah, bubble bath.
Awkward.
Couples massage at 3.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, she does a lot. We see Irene a bit here now. She does a lot of walking and talking with Irene, doesn't she? And talking it out with her. Housemate come landlady come confidant. And she's sort of making it come to the realization that, look, you want more, you can't go to Japan, girl, you know. And but she decides when it's a little bit too late. And this is my favourite part of the week. She FaceTimes Tane, who is he's at the airport. I mean, having been to Sydney International Airport,
good job he got there early, darling.
he got there early. He made it past Blazer Guy. Got through security, and he may have even had time to shop. Lucky for some. I've heard there's some great shops.
I've heard. We walked past them.
Walked?
Yeah. We ran past them. Despite getting to the airport 4 hours early, we didn't get into the gate until about 10 minutes before the flight took off.
There was at least a light trot.
There was a bit of a jog happening.
They were already boarding group 3. Let's put it that way.
Thanks for that, Blazer Guy. Anyway.
Yeah. In case nobody knows, we got bumped off a flight and then unbumped off it. But anyway, that was then. This is now. Mustn't have happened to Tane.
Oh, dear, no. He's there. He's buying all the Tim Tams in group 3.
Yeah. All the Tim Tams we couldn't.
He didn't come home with loads of notes. And I had to dash to Sainsbury's to get some Tim Tams for work. Oh no!
Got these for you now.
I digress.
As you can tell, we're over it, people.
Yeah, we're so over it. Yeah.
I like what you did there. So he's actually at the gate, and he's like, "What the hell? I can't believe." She's like, "I can't do it. I want more. I can't do this to you." And he's like, "You know what? Whatever." And he puts the phone down, and doesn't he?
Yeah.
And I actually quite like that he did that. I was actually rooting for him at this moment because I thought she was being bitterly unfair. She's misrepresented herself. Then sort of makes it his problem, but leaves it so last minute that the guy's got one foot on the plane at this point.
Yeah.
He's going to go, isn't he?
It really wound me up, this, for so many reasons. I'm glad he hung up on her, because I think if he hadn't, we could have gone down an awkward route of him saying something that he later regrets saying. Not that it would be wrong to say it, but that, in the heat of the moment, it comes out differently to how you want to explain it, doesn't it? So I think that was a good thing. But also, like, her presumption when she said to Irene, "Oh, when he gets back, tonight, we can talk about it." And I was like, so you think that you can ring him up while he's in the airport? He went we were told he went the day before as well. He had to go into the city. So we already spent the night in a hotel, spent some money in the city doing whatever he needed to do. I'm probably getting a passport or whatever now in Tane, but there we go. He was in the city doing something the night before, which is why they couldn't go to the airport together. The big plot, point here. Why she was in the bay and he was in the airport. So he's already done all that. He's took his suitcase the day before. He's got himself to the airport. He's done all the things that he said he was going to do on his side. She convinced him to come on the trip in the first place because he didn't want to go, and he did give up his ticket and said, "You go with Dana."
Yeah.
And then she's convinced him to go, and he's gone, "Okay, yeah, I'll sort the gym out so I can go away on holiday with you," and blah blah blah. And it's good to see Archie, and he's got that relief that he's not going to be in a different country to his son for a couple of weeks. He got that around his... Because I was a bit worried that how could he let go of his kid when a few weeks ago he couldn't even spend a minute away from the hospital? Without having a paddy. And I was saying to you, how's she going to go with Dana? And he's going to be happy sitting in Sydney.
Yeah.
I don't think that was going to be...
Yeah, it wasn't going to work that way either, was it? Let's face it.
No. So I don't want to be on Tane's side, very often, but I am in this respect because she's convinced him to go. He's done everything that he said he was going to do. And then she calls him at the very last minute and says, actually, I don't want to go as just friends. I was lying before. She's done this before, though, hasn't she? She was lying about the marriage in a way and saying she accepted his terms and conditions for that. And then right
at the last minute decided,
actually, I want you to love me. Well, that was not what we agreed. She's making a habit of this now.
She is. And considering she won my sympathy a bit as time went on with the marriage, with the wedding thing, I think because I've been burnt, I think she's failing to get it here from me again. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not doing it consciously, but I think it must have had an effect because it is repeat behaviour. Like, I'm not even entertaining it this time.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And the poor guy's going to miss the robot thing.
The robot cafe, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted
He's
to go there.
He's got his heart set on it.
He wanted to go there because he wanted to see Archie's face at the robot cafe, didn't he? He said Archie will enjoy it or whatever. So,
I think he's going to go in here without, and I hope he does.
I hope he does,
and I hope
well.
he puts loads of stories on Instagram.
That would be hilarious. I hope he does. It serves her right. She can't just toy with people and then expect, like, she's expecting him to go, okay, I'll run back to you then.
And I hope he looks amazing when he gets back in his kimono.
Putting the bins out in his kimono, yeah. When he hears the lorry coming down the road, bin day!
Slippers and kimono.
Who does that remind me of? Anyway.
It is bin day today, I must remember, actually. Yeah. So, I hope he's gone, and good on him, I say, which I don't say very often. I will.
But then, how's it going to be if he does go, and leaves her behind? He's not going to want to not know about Archie while he's away. He's going to have to come groveling to her and say, "How's Archie doing?" and send me some photos. And then he's got to face the music when he comes home, and I don't think she's going to be very nice about it.
No, but I would argue she's also got to face the music and face the reality. There was a moment this week, wasn't it, where obviously she runs into Mac, and it has a run-in with Mac as well about the baby, and it's quite an interesting oxymoron, Mac's position when it comes to family and a boy, and she has a go at her and says, "You've got everything, you think I'm happy, and you when you're pregnant, you're going to tell Levi, and he's going to be so happy. I've not got that. So I'm thinking, you've got Archie, something that Mac is absolutely dying for. This girl does not really appreciate the situation she's in. She's got her health. She's got a healthy baby. She's got a dad who actually wants to be in the baby's life. She needs to put everything aside. She is in this position from her own doing.
Yeah.
And ultimately, she decided to go through with this pregnancy. She accepted that this was her eventuality.
Yeah.
And you've got to, there comes a point where you need to accept and own your choice in life.
Yeah.
And and I was feeling for her, because she was in a heartache about it, but I think it's time she puts her big girl pants on now and gets on with it.
Because she's just deflecting, isn't she? Because I think, you're right, I think the elephant in the room, and it's been an elephant in the room since she got pregnant, is that I don't believe that she ever wanted to be a mum. Not at this stage in her life, not in the circumstances that she found herself in. I don't believe she wanted this baby. I believe she kept the baby because she thought, Delulu, that she'd end up with Tane, and what she wanted was Tane. That's the goal, isn't it? Yeah. So the elephant in the room is that, but ultimately what she's doing, because she hasn't got the life that she was hoping to have, she's quite bitter about it, and she's deflecting. So she's angry at Dana, she's angry at Sonny, she's angry at Tane. She's now angry at Mac. She's angry at the world, but actually she's angry at herself because she's put herself in this mess. And for want of a better word, she's kind of messed up the future that she thought she was going to have by her choices. And she wants to blame other people for it and not herself.
It's not gone her way, and it's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Spot on, Soph. It's hard, isn't it? Because you can't control what your heart wants.
No.
But you can't always get it.
You have to, at some point, you have to just, like you say, take stock and say, well, I'm in this situation now. I got myself here. Nobody else. It's nobody else's fault.
Yeah. I can either choose to feel sorry for myself, or I can just get on with it.
Yeah.
And try and get over him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting to that point where I just want to shake her now. And that scene when, like I'm talking about with Mac, and it's almost like she seemed to take for granted the things she has got. She's constantly focusing on stuff she hasn't got, and it's because what she really wants, like you say, is the man, not the kid.
Yeah.
And she's missing what's right under her nose. We've joked for weeks about how often she's palming Archie off, and you know it all adds up.
Yeah.
This is all adding up now.
And if Tane has gone on the honeymoon, who is she going to palm him off on? It's going to be poor Irene, isn't it? Every 5 minutes. I need a night out with my sister. I need to do this. I need to do that. Well, yeah, you've also
this baby that you decided to have, is getting in the way.
Yeah, of your life. I mean, she's on maternity leave, isn't she? Anyway, so like she should be focusing on Archie and her life, and she hasn't got that distraction of work right now. Yeah, she's running away from it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you know what she needs to do on one of these nights out? Go and sleep with somebody else and make sure he's really hot.
Yes. Who could that be? It'd have to be some
Just
stranger.
feel like somebody wants you for half an hour.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Well,
15 minutes.
I don't think she ever had that with Tane, did she? That's the problem. She never felt wanted by him. So
Yeah. So break the cycle, girl.
Yeah. And then she'll be less aggravated by Dana, because obviously, she can tell that Sonny is really into Dana, and that's pissed her off.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Mind you, she doesn't need a no ovulation kit. She'll just look at the next guy and fall pregnant. So
she only has to lie down in the gym, doll. Just take a snooze on the bench press. Oh dear.
Right, Leah's trying to find out what speaking of bench press, Leah's trying to find out what Theo knows about Lacey's family at the gym this week. Turns out not a lot. I did like Theo's poker face for once. It was quite good. And then later on we see Theo offering to sell his car for Lacey. This car that you took a big loan out for. Come on, writers.
Almost killed you, though.
Yeah,
but
almost.
Hasn't he paid off the loan because of the stuff he did with Gage, the racing or whatever?
Well, he was paying it. He was worrying about repayments, but was it confirmed that he'd paid it all back?
I thought he told Justin that it was paid off.
Right, fair enough then. If it has, it has. I've missed it. Yeah, I may have missed it then. But I was just looking at it thinking, this car that you're going to sell, I was thinking, has he got a loan to pay off? Or if he's paid it off, fair enough.
I think he has. I think he paid it off with whatever Gage gave him for the racing.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank God she refused, because I thought we don't need that. Do you know what I mean? And then meanwhile, on the Yabby Creek Road, Tane runs into a female in distress. She's got a fan belt snapped or whatever it is. It's not a fan belt, is it? What was it? It's just carburetor.
Was it cam belt?
Fan.
I don't know. Some belt. Yeah.
Something under the bonnet, love.
I'm not a mechanic.
Yeah, nah, love. I only know where the dipstick is, and it ain't in the car.
I was going to say, is it in my living room? I'm going to get shot for that. Anyway, moving on.
You don't listen.
Hopefully.
She's a bit standoffish, to say the least. And as he pulls over and offers to help her, and she pretty much tells him to get lost, doesn't she? Now, this girl seems to be a bit of a first impressions. Let's ask, what were your first impressions?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I wasn't sure whether I liked her. Not because I think she should be nice to Tane. I think this was a really important scene in terms of like how women are expected to behave. Oh God, this is going to get really deep. Because if
societal,
yeah, you're not supposed to just sort of be grateful and sort of, I don't know, be grateful that he's noticed you and he wants to do something for you. This whole damsel in distress thing, it's not very modern to be in that situation and to. And also, you don't know who he is. Like, this is a stranger that stopped on the road and wants to help you. You don't know him, and I'm not being funny, but he's quite a bit bigger than her. You don't know what he's capable of. You don't know if he's a nice guy or what his agenda is. Why is he stopped and why is he getting out of his car and coming towards you, etc. So that's quite a scary situation to be in, and you might be acting out of character from
that's
that
true,
point of view.
especially on such an isolated road as well.
Yeah. So I didn't know whether she was putting on a bit of a front to sort of say, I'm not a vulnerable victim girl stranded at the side of the road who needs you to come and save me, and I'm also not vulnerable in terms of being... he could quite easily attack her, whatever the word attack means to you, like whether that's verbally, physically, sexually, whatever. He could have done something to her, and I think maybe there was a bit of a puffing herself up so that he didn't see her as someone that could be trifled with. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know whether it was I don't know if it was her personality normally or whether she was
whether it was the situation she was in. There's contextual stuff, isn't there? Because I think we would all act differently in different contexts, wouldn't we? And I think you're right. I think there is a certain vulnerability that comes with being a lone female on an isolated road, and what is expected.
And you're kind of told as a young girl, when there's conflict with a man, like if a man starts to get aggro or whatever with you, and you're in a situation where it's probably dangerous to be aggro back, you're kind of told to be like play nice, to appease them, to try and not let them get angry or whatever. So all of that was going through my head, was like, what would I do? What would I do in this situation if some fella had just come up to me and I was at the side of the road and I've got no phone and I'm stranded?
Yeah.
Would I trust him or not? I don't know whether I would.
Interesting.
I don't know. What was your take on it?
Well, I was thinking, I'm being told here that this is a girl not to be messed with because she hasn't broken down and, rang anyone or, rang the RAA or the RAC or whatever. She's actually got out and then opened the hood, which I was like, not a girly girl, and I'm generalizing here, but wouldn't do that, like she's a girl who sort of is a bit sort of sure of herself, and perhaps she knows a bit, and a bit. Is she a bit tomboy? Is she a bit sort of someone who can stick up for herself? Is the sort of first impression I got, just on the pure fact that she was actually looking at the engine, and I mean, and I'm making a sweeping generalization there. I'm well aware, but that's the impression, split first impression I got. Her approach, her dialogue and her response to Tane, I felt was a little rude, when on the face of it, all he was doing was offering some help. But again, this is a man, isolated road. He's actually stopped and got out of his car, which could be a little threatening, rather than, offer to call someone. I mean, he does on the way back because this was on the way to Yabuki, and then on his way back, she's still there, isn't she? She strikes me as an independent woman who can't charge a phone, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But I understand why she didn't accept his help, because it, that does open you up to all sorts of danger. If you say, don't.
And I think what was interesting is that, she said fairly politely to start with that she didn't need his help.
Yeah, and he pressed it.
And he kept going, but what about this? What about... And she kept saying no. And I think she got to the point where she was like, can you not take no for an answer?
Yeah.
And I was almost clapping, because I've been saying for a while that Tane's been a bit problematic in terms of not listening, particularly to his partners, who obviously have, up until now, have been ladies. He may decide to go a different way in future. Who knows?
We can but hope.
But up until now, they've been ladies, and he's, he thinks a certain way, and he thinks people should act a certain way, and he kind of railroads people into his way of thinking. And this is a stranger that he doesn't know, and he has no control over, no hold over or whatever. And she was quite blunt, sort of saying to him, like, "No, I've told you no. Like, back off, dude." And I thought that was interesting. Was that Home and Away finally addressing the fact that he is like this? Yeah.
Do you know what? If we've dug deep enough to see it, let's go with that. Yeah. Okay, you've got me thinking now. Was that a subtle, we hear you, guys, like, we know he's
know.
like this?
Because also her dad later on
Mm.
kind of says the same thing. Like, she's told you no, and you're still coming out here and you're still fixing the car. You know what I mean?
And yeah, would you drive a car a randos fiddle with? I thought.
Yeah.
We must mention her dad is Sarge.
Mm.
So she is sister of Lacey, isn't she? Jo,
Yeah.
she's called, and she comes back with him after she's made it to town to get help.
She's walked to town, hasn't she? Bless her.
Yeah.
That's a long road.
Long, winding road.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's there fixing the car without permission. So it's even like he's already been warned off. He's already been declined. Then he's been told to rack off, you know, and then he's gone back of his own accord and changed the can belt, the can belt, you know, like.
Love this. Mechanics 101 by Sai. Day one, can belt. I love it. Oh dear.
You know, it is a major overstep, but I would even go further.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, he already took no for an answer, but despite that, he's then driven all the way back out there. Did he expect her to still be there? Yeah, it's a bit creepy, isn't it?
What's his agenda? Like, she's not even there anymore. So, you know, you say he was happened to be driving back the next day or the next afternoon or whatever, and the car's still there, right? But she's not. So she's obviously got help at some point because she's not there. She's gone, you know, someone's either picked her up or what she has done is walked to town or whatever. You don't know whether she's gone to like she's in a mechanic's office right now, getting a lift back to the car with a mechanic who's planning to come and fix it at the roadside. He has absolutely no idea. What's his agenda for fixing it?
Yeah.
Like, what does he get out of it? I don't get this.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't make any sense unless he fancies her.
But there's no guarantee that he's going to see her again. He doesn't know that she's related to everybody in the bay. He doesn't know her or where she's. Like, they didn't have much of a dialogue. It was a bit creepy.
There was nothing flirtatious either, was there?
She was quite not flirty, wasn't she?
I can't blame her. Yeah, now we've hashed it out. I can't blame her for feeling like get away. I really can't. Now, her story when she's in town, it sort of switches to the sort of big, I'm gonna call it like earth-shattering dispute in her family. Like, they are literally torn, this family. None of them are talking, and we learn through some discussions here she runs into Lacey, who doesn't want anything to do with her, and we're starting to piece together the mum's car accident now, and that this Jo has some sort of involvement. She was in the vehicle, and we're learning that Dad has forgiven Jo or is still talking to Jo. Lacey puts a lot of blame at Jo's door for whatever went down during the accident, basically. And there's a moment where Jo runs into Lacey at the surf club, and it quickly escalates into a brawl outside. Punching, which was quite exciting actually, because they both played it quite well, I thought. And Sophia playing Lacey particularly was really good in these scenes for me. The physical stuff, which obviously for filming would have been choreographed, was done really well. Really believable that she was really, this was coming from a deep emotional place. I thought it was really believable, and I really quite enjoyed the scenes. And of course, Cash has had to split this up, hurl them into YCPD, and it's all coming out now that they're all a family. And during these scenes at YCPD where they're all arguing about things, we actually learn that, as I say, Jo was in the car, but also that potentially Mr. By the Book, but keeps bending the rules, Sarge David there, may have had some sort of tinkling with the investigation, and that is the crux of Lacey's anger, isn't it? And this is why this is fascinating, this story, because already the complexities are fascinating.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. What did you think of this reveal about the accident and Joe's involvement and everything else? Where do you think we're going?
Because it was trickled out for me, really, and I absolutely no spoilers, absolutely nothing. So I did accept the information as it was fed to me. So at first I'm thinking, okay, Joe's in the car with Mum. Lacey's like, you could have done something to save her, maybe. I blame you. I was thinking that's enough, really, isn't it? Really, if someone's not wanting to accept the passing of their parent, I can understand that. But then when we got to those scenes where Lacey is saying things like he's not always by the book, when Cash drops her off at home, and he's quite vulnerable, actually, and he shares, doesn't he, that my mum died as well, and she's always like, yeah, you want to watch my dad, he's not always Mr. By the book. And I thought,
and Cash's gut instinct is already there, isn't it, with how he's treated him? So he's like,
of course,
right, now I'm being told by the daughter who knows him really well.
Cash has already experienced his U-turns. Yeah, definitely. So at that point, I actually thought, do you know what? This is more interesting than I thought. I thought that was interesting enough. But then I thought, actually, if Dad has then covered it up so that it saves daughter from any sort of prison time or blame or record or anything, that's interesting, because then I can really understand Lacey's, as some people on Your Say in the Bay last week were calling it, over dramatic response, let's say. Because that's what some of the initial responses were from our listeners last week. That she was being over dramatic, and that would go a long way to explaining that big reaction. But then I'm like, okay, is it more than him keeping the other daughter out of prison? Did he have any sort of, did he directly get involved in the accident? Did he kill Mum? I've got a few questions here.
Yeah, I do as well. I'm a bit sus about the more that Lacey talks about it, the more sus I feel about the whole thing, because she kind of says like, oh, there was nothing in Dad's report, there was nothing about anything wrong with the car, and yet there were no skid marks on the road, there was no attempt to brake, so how did she hit a tree? And we know, in my mind, I'm going, well, if we cast our minds back to Kangaroo Gate, when the kangaroo jumped in front of Dean's car not that long ago, and he had to swerve off the road. If that had happened to her and she didn't have time to brake, she just moved the steering wheel or whatever. I don't know. I still think you'd hit the brakes instinctively, though. I still think. I don't know.
No, your reflexes would take over, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
You'd think.
So that's sus. The fact that the brakes weren't used. So I'm like, okay, well, did she pass out at the steering wheel? And if she did pass out, is it because she was drinking or drugs, or has the toxicology been hidden? The fact that she's got Joe has got no memory of the accident. She just remembers waking up in the car, in the driver's seat, and seeing her mum in the passenger seat, and then seeing the Ambos or whoever.
Yeah, was she drugged?
Yeah,
there's so many possibilities, isn't there?
So many questions. So did if she's passed out at the steering wheel, then yes, she wouldn't have been braking the car, because you don't, do you? You just kind of slump over the steering wheel, and that could have been why she crashed into the tree. There's so many questions about how the accident happened. And then, like you, because David's been so sus this week, and we're being told by Lacey. I mean, Lacey had that conversation with Cash and said, watch him. She had that conversation with Leah as well, because when she tried to run away, and Leah caught her at the bus stop last week and said, oh, where you going? She said, my dad's in town. Nothing to do with Theo. That's not why I'm running away. I can't be where my dad is. And then Leah, to her credit, was really good this week. So Leah... David came to the coffee cart, didn't he? And she got to meet him, and she was like, "Oh, you Lacey's dad," and he was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, she just comes in the diner sometimes," and I thought that was really good, because she didn't want to put Theo on his radar. I don't think
Leah's been great with this. Yeah,
she has. Yeah, I think it's been really good. And then obviously she does see him in the diner again later on, and he's got Joe with him. So then she goes over again and says, "Oh, hello, I'm Leah. Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Joe. I'm his daughter." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know Lacey had a sister." And they're like, "How do you know Lacey?" And again, she's like, "Oh, she comes in here sometimes for moussaka or whatever." But then she doesn't let on, but she goes up to Lacey, and again, not in front of Theo. She goes, "Can I have a chat with you privately?" So she doesn't blurt it out in front of Theo. She's very calm, and she takes her to one side and she says, "Like, I've just had a visitor downstairs. Just to let you know, your sister's here." And then at that point, Lacey says again, "I don't want anything to do with her either, even more than my dad." So we're being told that these people are problematic and that he doesn't follow the rules. So all of this put together, the breaks, the memory loss, the don't follow the rules, the fact that she's so angry that she thinks there's something more to the accident. Of course, we're being directed in that direction as well, aren't we? So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
my mind is racing.
Yeah, mine is. Even where Joe's concerned, not just David. I'm thinking Joe. I'm thinking, because we see these flashbacks, don't we, of a trying, flashing back to the scene of, the car crash or what have you. We don't see much, granted, but things are starting to come back, which is obviously how we're going to learn what's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, for someone who's had this traumatic event, so traumatic, you lost a parent. She's not scared of getting in the car and driving on her own, and she's broken down. I'm thinking something doesn't add up there either.
But maybe that's because she doesn't remember it. Maybe if she remembered the accident.
Well,
I don't know.
that might come. Yeah, it's
all very sus. I mean, I'm even thinking, if let's say the brakes were cut because we know that she didn't attempt to brake, so she's either passed out at the wheel and couldn't brake, or she's tried to brake and she can't, and Dad's maybe covered up the brake situation. Maybe that's what he's hiding. What if he thought Mum was going to be the one driving the car, and
this is what I mean, and they swapped, or
and he cut the brakes, or he's done something to the car, and then he's had to cover it up because it's his daughter that's ended up driving the car, and could now go to potentially to prison for, is it vehicular murder or whatever? I don't know what the sentence is in Australia, but like death by dangerous driving or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, my mind's all over the place. Like,
same.
Was she drinking?
It's a good. Yeah.
Was she unsafe to drive? Was she texting at the same time? There's loads of possibilities, isn't there, as to why she didn't brake?
And so early into the mystery, it's a good place to be. It's obviously that's the point of the storyline. Now we need to watch to find out.
Yeah.
But I am liking it because I don't quite.
Because we don't know yet.
And I can't read the characters either.
No,
if I was like, right, he's an absolute wrong and he's obviously done it. And I'm like, but he's supposed to be a family man. He's a sage, respectable. He talks about community a lot.
Yeah.
He's rubbing Alf up no end at the coffee cart,
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm getting so many mixed signals. One to
it could
watch.
turn out to be completely innocent, and that is also very Home and Away. Where we've been really suspect of somebody that's come into the bay, and then actually they've turned out to be perfectly innocent, and it's just like, oh, it's that whole newbie thing where we don't trust outsiders. Who is this person?
Yeah.
So this could all just be very innocent, and actually it was an accident, nothing like what we're thinking, and maybe Lacey just like we thought when Flick joined the show, and she was absolutely convinced that her dad would never have killed himself and that he must have been murdered and all that sort of stuff. And you and I talked about that for weeks on the podcast, and we're like, oh, what could have happened, and what could have been in debt to the wrong people and all this sort of stuff. And it turned out, when Cash showed her the evidence file, police file, and she read it, she was like, yeah, actually, it's changed my mind. Like, there's no evidence here of anything dodgy or... So, it's one of them, isn't it? You're not really sure. It could go either way.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. So, and it's given these characters something really, really nuts.
Yeah.
It isn't a slow thing. We're in.
Yeah.
We know something bad's happened. We just don't know how, what, why, and who. So, I'm very interested to see what's going on. Right, Avalon has told Kirby that Remi and her are working on her album. Deliberately, I think so. She is an absolute wind-up merchant, this girl. She knows she's rubbing Kirby up the wrong way. Did she really need to say that to her? No, I don't think so, but I think she revelled in it. And that's why she did it. It's the secret Remi didn't want her knowing about. She's absolutely fuming, isn't she, Kirby? I must say, I am struggling to high heaven with this. Avalon is just a nightmare. She's a bit of a character, and I do enjoy that she's a bit sort of footloose. You know, there's been some comparisons last couple of weeks from listeners about Stevie Marlowe, and I get that she's an arty type, knows what she wants, but I'm a bit worried that she is friend of Forrest and been sent to sabotage Kirby's, second go at her musical career. Given the first, she rescinded her commitments to his contract not long ago. And if you remember, there was a bit of a to-do about buying the rights back and all that afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
He was going to hold her and all sorts. So a lot of money's been missed out on here. So I don't know. I can't trust her. I really can't. And then she pulls a move like that to cause problems between Remi and Kirby. She's there to quash this girl's album coming out. There's no other explanation for it. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that we're being told, and I don't know what to sort of take note of and what to ignore. But Kirby must have said 3 or 4 times now, Avalon doesn't write her own songs, and I think because we've been told it so many times, it's got to be important. That,
that's good. That's the point.
She doesn't have her own material, although she's got a #1 album. It's been the #1 for months and months and months and what have you. Maybe she's not feeling as confident with the second album, and maybe it's not just about getting Remi, it's about making sure that Kirby's album, which is being recorded at the same time, sabotaging that so that either she steals her songs or she makes Remi go off the rails so much that he does a bad job on the album and nobody wants to buy it, or whatever it is. I don't know what information to actually focus on this storyline.
Yeah, it feels a bit scatty, doesn't it? I can't tell whether she's trying to make a move on Remi romantically, whether it's a professional sabotage on Kirby, whether she's just plain bored. Where's the other people she's working with? Does she just sort of wander out of her studio and into his and nobody knows where she's gone?
Yeah.
Why is Kirby suddenly hot property? Not Kirby, Remi suddenly hot property when there is probably so many well-connected producers that Forrest could just make her go in a studio with and get a hit record. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's not producing her album, is he? He's playing guitar on it. That's the difference. He's meant to be producing Kirby's. So
what's happening to the guitar is she probably already had. There are some ins and outs, isn't there, that don't quite add up.
Yeah.
But the fact that is, she's hanging around the bay like a bad smell. And it feels personal. It feels like she's gunning for Kirby via Remi.
Yeah.
And it's working, and Kirby's allowing it to get to her. She's allowing it to work. They're missing recording sessions. He can't keep his eyes open. And then she accepts that weird gig at Salt, which I don't know how that even happened. And then Kirby's expected to be happy for them. I don't know. I'm struggling here. Help a guy out.
I know, I'm struggling. Like I say, I don't know which part of the story to focus on. I don't know whether it's a potential affair between Avalon and Remi. I don't know whether it's just to mess up Kirby's head and try and ruin her album. I don't really understand how famous this chick is, right? So she's got a #1 album, which we've been told is really successful, blah, blah, blah. Mac and Bree recognise her on sight, and they're all giddy. Oh my God, like Mac's like, play at my restaurant, and Bree's like, oh, it's so cool to meet you, and blah, 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 I loved your album.
Yeah.
The musicians, Remi and Eden, didn't know her from Adam.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
So, if you are a muso and you're into music and whatever, you've got your finger on the pulse, you know the new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, what the trends are. Yeah, of course you do.
Remi and Eden never heard of her, yet Bree and Mac, we've got her album.
Yeah, this is sloppy, isn't it?
I don't really get where we're going with this. I'm a bit lost. But again, it has made the Kirby, if we are going to have to go down this route of the Kirby album, it has made that slightly more interesting for me. And it's not
That's good.
It's not just Kirby on a keyboard at 8 a.m. in the morning while the housemates get annoyed at her, you know.
Yeah, it's kicked it up a notch. It's a bit more professional. We're in this gigantic studio, and there's an antagonist.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not there with it, but I'm happy for you.
I mean,
I'm glad.
I think it's going to be short-lived. I mean, it depends how this goes, really. But like I say, I can't tell what path we're going down. Are we just interested in Remi? Did she just like what she saw? Did she just walk into the studio, saw Remi, and went, "Yeah, I'd like a bit of that. How can I get to hang out with him more? Oh, I'll give him a slot on my album." Is it just that? Is it just a sexual thing, or is it a let's sabotage Kirby with whatever we can?
Yeah.
Because she'll take a dig at Kirby all the time. Like, she's constantly neggy about her to Remi, who's her friend and her producer and been in the band with her, and she's going, oh, she's a drama queen. Oh, she acts like she owns you. Oh, like constantly slagging her off.
Yeah. Turning up at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said, like, he did the gig with her, which she didn't want to do, did he? She railroaded him into doing the Salt gig. Then at the end of it, he was like, I'm so tired, I can't see straight. I'm going to go home. And then she's like, you can't go to bed. Let's have a nightcap and celebrate our first gig. She's trying to keep him awake all night.
Yeah.
Is that to stop him being...
To stop him being able to work on Kirby's album. It's the only thing.
It's really weird.
It is weird. And... doesn't shine that industry in a good light, I must say.
No, it doesn't. And then obviously she gives him whatever's in that packet.
Yeah.
As well.
So she's obviously on the old sniff.
Yeah, there's something. Because he's like, oh yeah, like I've been awake for 3 days. And she's like, yeah, so have I. And he's like, well, how are you doing this? And she's like, oh, I've got help. Here you go. And he's trying to hand it back, isn't he? Because he goes out with the doctor, let's face it.
We haven't seen him with it other than when he tries to give it back but fails because Bree walks in. So it will be interesting to see next week whether it drops out of his pocket or
he takes it because he gets to the point where he's been awake for 5 days.
I've got a funny feeling here.
I don't feel good about it.
No, I don't.
But then that if he does take it, is that part of the sabotage? Because if she starts him on a drugs path, then the album's not gonna get finished either. So it's I don't know. I can't put my finger on what type of storyline this is yet. I guess.
Yeah. And no doubt we'll see more. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Sorry.
We might just have time to mention Marley not opening the surf shop, which just came out of nowhere. Because last we saw Marley was handing out presents and, it was girlfriend's birthday. But Alf's left him a voicemail to have a yarn about it. And he has a chat with him in the end in person, and says, look, I need you to work your business hours. Like people expect this to be open. Customers are asking and they expect to turn up here and be able to buy some chalk for their board.
I've never seen a single customer at that shop.
No. Same.
So it's a bit weird, that.
Yeah, that's true. Got lots of merch to sell. You know what I mean?
I see people lining up at the juice bar in the background. But I never see anybody at the board shop apart from if they've come to talk to Marley.
Never open, Dal. Never open. Marley prefers to be creative. Can't be arsed with the shop. Or the lessons. He just wants to sit in his shed and shape. That's not a euphemism. It's 90% downside this job, and that's been generous if you ask me this week. Marley is coming across as like a bit sort of woe is me at this point, and that's coming from me because I'm a bit like, you're a business owner and you need to buckle up. It's going to be hard. It's actually the most demanding, toughest job. running your own business, having the responsibility of putting bread on the table, and
a business
paying,
that he inherited
fallen out, I will remind him.
Mm.
And that was his dream, and now suddenly he can't be bothered with most of the money-making side of the business. And I understand the creative outlet, and some people are like that, and that's more them. But where has this come from? It's hit me like a train. You know, like,
yeah.
There was no inkling of this. Has it come from the insecurity thing, from the picture? I'm like, where's this come from?
Or is it because he's now on his own and he can't get any staff? Like with Kirby leaving the board shop and now Abby leaving and going and working in Salt, he's on his own again, and he hasn't been on his own for a while, has he? Has he lost that kind of security blanket of having somebody's having his back, even though he treats his employees like absolute shite? I don't know. Is it he's the face of the board shop now, and all that bad press he got in Kirby's article?
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know. Part of me is also thinking, you know, Mr. Stewart and John are sort of saying, you know, if you're not here, if you don't turn up and you don't occupy this space, what's the point in you having this space? What's the point in you having the overhead?
Yeah.
Because he's paying rent for a shop that he's not even there. You know.
Listen, though, he doesn't seem to want to give it up, though. He's checking the small print here.
I know, but what if we got a new set, a new shop in the surf club?
Already, though, it doesn't feel that long ago.
I know. Well, it's been a board shop for a long time, hasn't it?
I find it hard to believe that he can't find another member of staff to fill in Kirby's shoes. Like,
I mean, just
it's ridiculous.
Go on the beach. Just all he has to do is somebody in one of the surf lessons, or somebody down on the beach that's out there surfing. Do you need a job in the board shop? You're a surfer. Hello.
Yeah.
Dream
negative
job.
press as well was like so long ago now. It feels like it.
Who
like
reads
that's gonna.
That? Who reads that anyway? Who gets the printed magazine? You know, these
tomorrow's chip paper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was. I'm a bit like, this has come out of nowhere. Is it sort of an existential crisis for Marley?
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be his dream. This is the reason he left all his family, and now it's not good enough. And it just seems to have hit me out of nowhere.
He could shape boards anywhere, couldn't he?
Yep.
And that's the point. He doesn't have to be in the surf club. I don't know. I guess I got a little bit excited because I was thinking, if he is moving out, could we either get someone else taken on the board shop and lock a new character, or could the board shop go entirely end of an era and it be replaced with something else?
Yeah, something
that would give us maybe a new character, or potentially for having new jobs. Because we always talk about, you know, when the newbies come in, like Sonny hasn't got a job at the moment. What's Sonny going to do with his life? Is he just going to sponge off forever?
Lacey's in town. She's looking for work.
Yeah.
And that's actually a bit of a thread in the storyline. She's always on the phone trying to get shifts somewhere.
Yeah. She's got the odd bar shift, hasn't she? Like Theo mentioned, she's got some shift in Yabby Creek tonight.
But the diner's beneath her, doll.
Literally, because she's living above it with Theo. Yeah.
Watch this space. Summit's afoot.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.